Excellencies, colleagues, friends, it is really such an honor to join you here today and to follow the address of my esteemed colleague, Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber. In his remarks, he highlighted the need for decisive action, but he also highlighted the need for all of society to take part in this momentous task at hand. The UAE is astutely aware that success is incumbent on authentic inclusivity. Everyone is needed if we are to succeed. And our team and our strategy is a reflection of that. You have just heard from Dr. Sultan that we believe for it to be a COP of action, it must be a COP for all. We believe that parties, that negotiators should lead us through the process, but we also know that the private sector, civil society, women, indigenous peoples, and yes, and nature are the levers that will amplify further action. Let us also not forget that we're not in this for us alone. We need to solve the climate crisis for our children and our children's children. This is why youth will be given a central place at COP28 and hopefully beyond. After all, it is their future that we're talking about. I am personally humbled to serve as the UN Climate Change High-Level Champion. Working together with Dr. Mahmoud Mahieddine of Egypt, we are both acutely aware of our responsibilities in this process. Climate action in the real economy is well underway, driven by solutions by non-party stakeholders. With 11,000 members in the Race to Zero, we are collectively committed to half our emissions by 2030 and to make 3 billion people more resilient in our race to resilience. Distinguished guests, our races are underway. Partners are delivering change, and they will report back on progress to inform the global stocktake and the global goal on adaptation. The 2030 breakthroughs, the Breakthrough Agenda, the Sharm el-Sheikh Adaptation Agenda, and the Marrakesh Partnership Climate Action Pathways, all welcomed by you by a decision at the COP27, provide a roadmap of key milestones, actions needed this decade. Through them, we are mobilizing solutions on key systems: food and agriculture, water, oceans, human settlements and infrastructure, and will make urgent progress on enhancing food and water security and responding to extreme heat by COP28. The global stocktake provides a unique opportunity to put actions and solutions at the heart of our discussions and to ensure that we are accountable on the true outcome of our actions. Non-party stakeholders are eager and are able to contribute to these discussions and are keen to collaborate and support the parties in the development of NDCs, in the development of climate policies, and in financing. Distinguished guests, having had the privilege of spending my entire career in and for nature, I know, like many of us here, how central and essential nature is for people, for our economy, for our common humanity, and as a prime solution for climate change. It is obvious that there is no Paris Agreement without nature. And that is why we are determined to see more progress this year with non-party stakeholders mobilizing to commit on nature-positive targets, advancing action on oceans and coastal zones, building partnerships with governments to restore, conserve, sustainably manage the largest forest basins, and doing so in a truly inclusive way, supported by finance. Not just the quality of finance, not just the quantity of finance, but the quality of finance, ensuring that it reaches the communities at the front lines of conservation. Distinguished guests, to really mobilize change this year, 3 of the most powerful things we can do is to embrace nature-positive actions, mobilize finance at scale, and be truly inclusive. Together, we must strive for gender parity in all aspects of COP28. It is 2023, 50-50 delegations should be achievable by now. Together, we must follow the leadership of indigenous peoples and recognize the role of the youth. This is the decade in which we must halve our emissions, reduce biodiversity loss, address resilience, and advance equity. And we must do all of that simultaneously. I very much look forward to engaging with you and to hear from you on how best to galvanize non-party stakeholders to meet our collective goals. Thank you very much for your attention.
Excellency. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we bring the opening of the Petersberg dialogue to an end, but we continue straight away with the first session, so please stay in this room.